or some good reasons to actually have that enabled. But in this sense, this is a rubric, so each rubric will be different. So I'm going to go ahead and select make a copy for each student. So what happens is Google will automatically create its own copy and place it in the student's Google Drive folder that's assigned to my class. So I'll go ahead and click on make a copy for each student. The same thing for the template. I'm going to do make a copy for each student, and for the outline, and then the same thing for the story web. Make a copy for each student. Now, if for whatever reason I don't want these in here anymore, I just click the X and it'll automatically delete. One more time, if I need to do this for multiple classes, I can go ahead and click off all the classes that they're in. Now, right now I'm only going to select the math class, and we're going to go ahead and assign this assignment. And this is the way it's going to look. Okay, so I went ahead and signed in with my wife's account, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how it looks on the student end whenever the students actually sign in to start doing their work. So this is the same layout, very basic, very similar, except here now it says stream, classmates, and about, and before it said stream, students, and about. They still have their area over here for their calendar, and it identifies whether it's an assignment or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on this. It'll automatically begin generating these files for each student. So once it generates the files, they're all going to pop up here. And the first time that you sign into Google Classroom, it'll actually ask you to do a tour. I suggest that everyone do the tour just so they know exactly what's going on. So here we go. The instructions would usually be up here. Since I didn't write any instructions, I just put instructions go here. That's what the student's going to see. Now here it says not done. This student's work is not done. And so the cool thing about this is that actually Google actually renames the file speech rubric and then the last name, first and last name of that student. And it's going to do the exact same thing for all three files. Now if I need to add a presentation file or a slideshow file, I would go ahead and click the add button, and then I go ahead and click on slides, because Google Drive actually has its own editor for presentations or PowerPoints. This is exactly what's going to happen. So it's going to say Project 1, Rational Numbers, and then Laura Alanis, which is my wife. And so if they needed to go ahead and start working on that, they'll click on it, and they'll automatically be taken to this page here. They can go ahead and start typing out their presentation and start working on it. And it's the same thing for the other ones. They can click on it and work on it there as well. If the student had a question, they can type out the question right in the private comments area, and they could say something like, I am not sure what a rational number is, period. And then that'll be posted. And so what ends up happening is now I'm going to get that on my side. So I'll be able to go ahead and click on rational numbers. And if you'll notice over here it says 0 done, 1 not done. So if I click on that, it should update. Okay, there you go. Now it updated. And now here are the list of the people that are actually in the class. And I can actually click on her name, and I'll see all of her work in one place. So now we don't have to worry about folders or a spiral anymore. We have all of the work consolidated into one place so that the students don't have to worry about any of that. Now, I saw her comments. I can go ahead and post back. And I can go ahead and say, here's a quick link, check it out, read it, do whatever you need to do. And or I can call her over to the desk and say, here, this is how we're going to help out and help you out on this. Okay, so whenever I'm getting ready to grade them if it's a presentation, I'll open the rubric. And remember, you have master rights to everything. And I already have her name up here, so I don't have to type her name up here anymore. The date, you can type the date in the speech title. You obviously can type that. And then here I would go ahead and start putting their grades. So they'll pop up here, and it'll automatically be populated at the very bottom. It'll automatically grade it. So whenever I'm ready to give her a grade, I would go ahead and say, okay, that's going to be a 90, okay? And once I'm done grading that, it'll save it, and it says not returned. What that means is the student doesn't have that assignment yet. So if this was a test or a quiz or an essay, type assignment, and you don't want them to get it back one at a time, you just wait until you're finished grading everything, and then you can go ahead and return it to them. And then I can go ahead and hit return. I'm going to show you one last thing before we actually wrap up this video. So if I were to go ahead and start helping them out on something, maybe they didn't understand a question or they were only writing one word here, what I could actually do is if they typed in I don't know, I could actually highlight this and I can change this to suggesting, and I could say we're going to go ahead and change that to a rational number is, and then that's what they would have to see. On their side, when they open up this assignment or this document the next time they log on, this is exactly what they'll see. So the idea is now we're giving the students real-time feedback on everything that they do. And then the student will be able to press accept suggestion or reject suggestion. And so if they say reject, then I would actually go back in there and say, well, why did you reject this? Give me a reason, okay? So let's go ahead and think that we're going to go ahead and return this to the student. So I'll just click on return, and it'll say return unsubmitted assignment. The assignment isn't done yet. Are you sure you want to return it? Well, I realized that she never turned it in. So I'm going to go ahead and go back into her account. And then I'm going to say, okay, time to turn in. Here's a blue button on the student account. This is a student account. And then these are all the things that are going to be turned in. Click on turn in, and it'll automatically say done on the top. And then now mine should actually show done up here as well. Well, I see that she's done. I already graded her. I'm going to go ahead and hit return. Return work to one student. Student will be notified and can check any grade you've left. Yes, return. So it'll automatically return it to her, and she'll be able to see it and ask questions as to why she received the grade that she received. And that's how you grade. That was a quick overview to Google Classroom. This is still a relatively new web app that can only get better with our feedback. To provide feedback, click on the question mark at the bottom of the Classroom webpage. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. For Mission CISD, I am Armando Sierra, your District Instructional Technology Strategist, leading the way to a more technology-focused district.